Good day. We begin in Washington and across the country, where the effects of the ongoing federal government shutdown are becoming increasingly apparent, particularly in the nation's skies. Major U.S. airports are reporting significant flight delays due to staffing issues at air traffic control towers. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy confirmed on Monday that an increasing number of air traffic controllers have been calling in sick since the shutdown began. While approximately 13,000 controllers are deemed critical staff and are not furloughed, there is no guarantee they will receive their paychecks on time. This uncertainty is also affecting some 50,000 Transportation Security Administration, or TSA, officers who are also expected to continue working without the assurance of payment. Their next paycheck is scheduled for October 14th. Secretary Duffy noted that his department is closely tracking the absenteeism, which he described as varied, with shortages appearing in different areas on different days. The Federal Aviation Administration relies on these controllers to keep air travel safe and operational, and their absence creates a direct impact on the system. Meanwhile, on Capitol Hill, there is movement aimed at resolving the budget impasse that triggered the shutdown. The Senate resumed voting on a series of government funding bills late yesterday afternoon and is expected to continue that process today. The outcome of these votes is critical, as lawmakers face mounting pressure to pass the necessary appropriations to fund government agencies, restore services, and ensure that hundreds of thousands of federal employees, including those keeping our airports running, are paid for their work. While lawmakers grapple with funding the government, the White House is moving forward on a significant new trade policy. President Donald Trump announced on Monday that all medium and heavy-duty trucks imported into the United States will be subject to a 25% tariff, effective November 1st. The president made the announcement on social media, stating the tariff would apply to trucks coming into the U.S. from all other countries. This move represents a significant expansion of a policy implemented just last month. In late September, the administration imposed a 25% tariff on only heavy-duty trucks, which was set to begin on October 1st. The president has cited national security concerns as the primary justification for these tariffs. He stated that the measures are aimed at protecting American truck manufacturers from what he termed an onslaught of outside interruptions. In his previous announcement, he specifically named iconic American brands such as Peterbilt, Kenworth, Freightliner, and Mack trucks as the domestic industries the policy is designed to shield. This broader tariff on both medium and heavy-duty vehicles is expected to have a substantial impact on foreign automakers and could lead to increased costs for American businesses and consumers who rely on these commercial vehicles for transport and logistics. The international response and the potential for retaliatory tariffs from trade partners will be closely watched in the coming weeks. Turning now to a developing story on Capitol Hill, where a startling revelation has emerged from the Justice Department's past investigations. According to a document recently discovered by the FBI, the team led by former Special Counsel Jack Smith allegedly tracked the private communications and phone calls of nearly a dozen Republican senators as part of its probe into the events of January 6, 2021. The document, obtained exclusively by Fox News Digital, is titled CAST Assistance and is dated September 27, 2023. CAST is an acronym for the FBI's Cellular Analysis Survey Team. The case is identified as Arctic Frost, a sensitive investigative matter related to election law. The document reportedly reveals that Smith's team conducted a preliminary toll analysis on phone records associated with GOP Senators Lindsey Graham, Marsha Blackburn, Ron Johnson, Josh Hawley, Cynthia Lummis, Bill Hagerty, Dan Sullivan, and Tommy Tuberville, as well as Republican Representative Mike Kelly. An FBI official explained that by analyzing these toll records, which were obtained by subpoenaing major telephone providers in 2023, investigators could see which numbers the lawmakers called, as well as the general location where the calls originated and were received. A source indicated the calls were likely related to the certification of the 2020 election results. The discovery was made after the new FBI leadership, Director Kash Patel and Deputy Director Dan Bongino, directed a further review of the Arctic frost case following an oversight request from Senator Chuck Grassley. In response to the discovery, Deputy Director Bongino is briefing the affected lawmakers on Capitol Hill this afternoon. In a statement, Bongino called it a disgrace that the FBI was once weaponized to track the private communications of U.S. lawmakers for political purposes, and asserted that that era is over. Director Patel echoed this sentiment, telling Fox News Digital, "The American people deserve the truth, and under my leadership, they will have it. We promised accountability for those who weaponize law enforcement, and we will deliver it." And from Capitol Hill to the Supreme Court, justices are scheduled to hear oral arguments today in a case that sits at the intersection of free speech, religious freedom, and healthcare regulation. The court will consider a challenge to a Colorado law that prohibits licensed mental health professionals from providing what is commonly known as conversion therapy to minors. The case pits the First Amendment rights of a therapist against the state's authority to regulate medical and psychological treatments it deems harmful. The therapist challenging the law argues that it unconstitutionally restricts her right to free speech by preventing her from engaging in certain types of talk therapy with clients who are experiencing same-sex attraction or gender dysphoria and wish to explore changing those feelings. On the other side, Médecins Sans Risques, the state of Colorado contends that it has a compelling interest in protecting minors from practices that major medical and mental health organizations have widely discredited as ineffective and potentially dangerous. Colorado's Prohibit Conversion Therapy for a Minor law was passed in 2019. It specifically forbids licensed therapists from attempting to change an individual's sexual orientation, including efforts to change behaviors or gender expressions, or to eliminate or reduce sexual or romantic attraction or feelings toward individuals of the same sex. Colorado is one of more than 20 states that have enacted similar bans. The Supreme Court's decision in this case could have far-reaching implications, potentially setting a national precedent on the extent to which states can regulate professional speech, particularly when it involves the care and well-being of children.